It is episode 26 and we are back to regular furniture making in this episode. Last episode was a bit of a different one and obviously not for everyone, but there were a couple of comments left which made me realize it did resonate with a few people, which is awesome. On the agenda today is this office desk. I've tried something different with this in the past. Whenever I try and do these long glue ups, I struggle with the clamps a bit. So this time what I'm doing is these three holes are going to have dowels through them ultimately. But I've clamped the piece together using screws. I'll then take it apart, put glue into it, screw it back together, then pull out one screw, put a dowel through. Pull out the next screw, put a dowel through. And that way you're sort of able to clamp it together with screws. I remember it was Joey on the podcast who said a while ago that I think it was his dad told him that screws are just clamps. That's what screws are. And I'd never really thought about it like that from that perspective, but it is so true. And that's where this idea came from. In other news, slightly disgusting, I just drank a fly out of my coffee. Living in the north is it's wild sometimes. I just finished the final glue up of this. It was pretty intense. The only way I could do this was lying on its side because I needed to have these long clamps on. And I tried to get it up onto the bench, but I just couldn't because it's too unwieldy. But this should work, this should be fine. I've already contacted the client to let her know that this may be finished this week. However, it's not going to. Because I've also said to her that I will do a sample piece of the water-based finish with matte and satin sheen level. So she'll probably come around tomorrow and check that. I don't like the fact that I've had to buy both of these because these are, I think they're $65 a pop, so they're not cheap. But, you know, I use this stuff so often. If I can keep it, then I will use it in a project at some point. One of the things I've noticed with this is the matte and this is the satin, there's actually very little difference between the two. The nice thing about that is I can get away using the matte with a bit of sheen, which most people expect. So both of these are going to be able to work for client projects. This matte finish is not as rough or flat as matte, say, on a ceiling. This has been my go-to water-based polyurethane for a while now, and I still maintain it is one of the better options. Cabot's do a timber benchtop style water-based polyurethane, or a more generic version, but this flooring version dries so much harder and it's obviously more resilient that I think it's worth just putting this on any piece of furniture. I found the general use version of this to remain tacky for quite a while and never, well, when I used it, it never hardened up like I wanted it to. Whereas this stuff is like glass. Well, that's probably an exaggeration, but it's a lot closer to it. It's Wednesday night. This goes out tomorrow, Thursday at midday. It's all finished. I put the last coat on around 4 or 5 hours ago, so it's obviously dry to the touch. But I'm not going to put it into the trailer until tomorrow when it's had a good chance to harden. Really happy with how the finish has turned out. I am loading up the desk now. I'm heading off to the client in about an hour and a half. Still need to do some photos and then make sure that it's loaded up nice and secure and safe so there's no dings along the way. I often struggle with taking pictures of a piece of furniture like this. I mean, it's a nice piece of furniture, but it just doesn't photograph well because there's just very, very little to it. And I'm trying to figure out which parts I can show. And, I'm also thinking for the thumbnail, which parts I can use to really showcase it. But unfortunately, it's a relatively boring piece of furniture, so it's a bit tricky. It's always so good at the end of a project where I get all my space back. I I really like that feeling. It's all strapped down. Got these two ratchet straps which will hold it in place, stop it from rocking. Also got this foam at the front. That's going to stop it from sliding forward, although I don't think it will. And I reckon we're good to go. I will almost certainly be stopping a couple times on this 20-minute drive just to make sure, because I'm still not used to this. I'm still a bit new at the whole transporting thing, so I am nervous. All right, let's go do this. All right, back in the workshop. Delivery went well. Client was really happy. It fit into the space really nicely. I'll put a picture up now. She sent me the measurements to that she wanted the piece in, and we stuck to a particular number. We almost went bigger. Thankfully we didn't, because the fit was perfect. Really stoked about that. Yeah, so that's another job done. My workshop is back. I have my space back, but now I don't have any other jobs lined up. So there's no more income at this point. For me, it's cool because I have some personal projects that I'm taking care of. So I've just got a whole bunch of these sleepers from Bunnings because I need to line this hole. This is the pond that I've been working on. Those sleepers are going to make up the side, and it's going to create the pond area. So this project's now back on the radar and up and running. As well as that, I have turned this block into another blank for the office desk. So there's this, all of these. So I now have enough timber according to my calculations. So 270, where's my pencil? There should be a total there. And it's a total of 1,030, and I only need 900. So that's the depth of the desk that I can go to now, based on all of those boards. Which means I am one step closer to having a functioning office, and I'm so excited to get into this space. I just want my own personal office again. So a lot of stuff to work on. Even though there's no money coming in, I've got a lot of projects on the go. So I'm certainly going to be busy over the next few weeks. All right, well, that's where we're going to leave this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you've got any questions or comments, I don't normally throw this out at the end of these videos, but, you know, let me know. I'm happy to answer anything. And until the next video, I hope you all stay safe, and I will talk to you then. See you later.